On to you Libras out here. Hopefully y'all are having a great day. Let me back this up just a little bit. So for you Libras, you have, wow, the Empress, the Hermit, and the Page of Cups. The first card out, a Libra card, right? In the form of the Empress. That's Libra in a major arcana. So you showed up in your own reading. First card out. So look, what's going on here with you is, give me a minute. Hold on. Let me see. Got you. Okay. Got you. All right. So what I'm seeing here for you Libras is that you Libras very much so, let me show you what I'm talking about. You Libras, first three cards, a lot of people, right, Page of Cups are coming to you. You have a lot of options. Let me just start there. You have a lot of options. But the Empress and the Hermit represents, even if you Libras have a lot of options, regardless of whether you physically have them in front of you or not, whether they're calling your phone or not, you Libras will take people seriously when they can actually bring you some peace. You have internal peace. But if they come around you, they can't mess up your internal peace. Trying to mess it up, trying to get you Libras on your nerves and all of that. You Libras view relationships like something to stay away from. Because it's kind of true. It's kind of true because your life is going great without it. And I've talked about this before, that's the secret. That's one of the secrets to creating a good relationship. If your life is so great being single, a person has to show you why, even with them, even with the drawbacks that may come with them, because everybody has drawbacks, me, you, everyone has drawbacks, right? It's just being alive. It just comes with part of the package. So even though you or this person comes with their own problems, why you Libras should essentially have them around you romantically, right? So it's the risk versus the reward factor, right? It's, okay, yeah, this person does this, and I don't like this about them, but I like them, I love them, so even if they do this, still valuable, still valuable, still want them around, still love them regardless, right, of it. And that's just something that I have to take, right? That's your mentality, or that is your mentality, the way that you should be thinking, right? And a lot of you Libras are thinking that way. And that's what's having you Libras make the decisions that you do. The Page of Cups represents, if a person is coming to you, they have to show you, they have to be able to, number one, to treat you fairly, because Libra is about fair treatment. Libra is where the state of the world is in. This is why it is I say that it's a heavy card being a Libra, because you have to do the right thing. See, Libra is the only zodiac sign that is obligated to do the right thing. Why? Because Libra represents fairness. Libra is about setting the world and the universe straight, setting it right, creating balance, making things be the natural order of the way it should be, not the game that people play it, setting things right. So in other words, what happens that creates the changing of the seasons, right? If you have 4 of the seasons, right? What happens with the changing of the seasons? Rain. When you have changing of the seasons, you notice that regardless of if it's summer, spring, fall, or winter, even in winter, right? Snowstorms and everything like that. How is it that even when it's frigid, it's cold, right? I remember being in New York City I remember being still am in New York City, but I remember being in New York City back then with some of the coldest winters in New York City on record ever to ever hit New York. I'm talking about 8 degrees outside. Stupid numbers. You know what I'm saying? Stupid low numbers. 8 degrees. So cold outside. It's so cold outside to the point where the sidewalk cracking. And when I say cracking, I mean like the sidewalk dry. It's a dry cold. The cold is it's dry. You know, there's no kind of moisture. It's just dry, freeze dry. You know, if you leave a piece of fruit on the floor, the fruit will literally freeze dry. You know, but the point that I'm trying to make here with that is it's you Libra's obligation to set the record straight, right? What I was getting at with the whole rain situation is the reason why the rain is so important is because the rain rebalances the world. See, you get all these earthquakes and all this other type of goofy stuff when you don't have rainstorms and thunderstorms and all that. The electricity rebalances the earth, right? Creates enough. I don't know. I'm showing why I'm a geek or a nerd, but the thunderstorms that crash down from the sky to the earth, that touches the earth or wherever it touches, right? What it does is that it equals out or balances out the amount of electrons that's up in the sky. Too much electrons in the air, in the sky, right? In the sky and everything like that, where the clouds are, is what helps create or form the storms. Electrons should be on the ground or in the earth, right? So, or you know, in the, but you know what I'm trying to say. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is that's what you Libras represent. And a person has to show you, like, okay, if they're going to be with you, why it's a good idea for you Libras to let them in. Why it's a good idea for you Libras to go, okay, fine, even with the nonsense that you're doing, having such and such in my life is still worth it. And the Seven of Pentacles and the Tower card just represents a lot of you Libras haven't necessarily met someone like that as of right now. A lot of you are, you know, a lot of you are great. If you Libras are with someone and the two of you happen to work out well, it's amazing, because for you Libras who are in a relationship and it's working well, no comparison. No comparison. For you, no comparison. Other people just wouldn't cut it for you Libras and what you Libras would want and need in a relationship, right? Same thing when it comes to you Libras being single. A lot of people can't really get to you. They can't really understand what it is that you Libras would want and what it is that you would need. You know, Libra, y'all are a zodiac sign that wants to get treated fairly. You know, you don't have to be treated like someone that you're not, but a person has to see you as being capable, and they have to treat you as being capable, right, on your own, right? You're not an individual that is an idiot. And this is why it is that I was saying all the time that part of the problem in relationships is that people are so focused on these roles too much to the point where there's not a lot of like crossover in that sense, in one sense where both sides can kind of learn things from each other that they can actually use to make themselves better. But that's the whole context of what a relationship is supposed to be, right? Like, I'm supposed to learn how to be more emotionally literate, right? More emotionally literate, understand myself internally, find the peace, understand other people internally, right? Not read their mind, but at the same time, learn to be a better verbal communicator and all of that, right? And then as the person who I'm hanging out with, who I'm taking seriously, they're supposed to learn how to be more fit to handle the world, how to have skills, right? And so there's a lack of crossing over in that sense. And why that's so important is because the Sun card, the Scorpio energy, and the Ten of Pentacles for you Libras, you know, which is the fact that A lot of you Libras don't take a lot of people seriously. That's why it is that you refuse right now to get yourselves in a relationship, because you Libras are like, look, a lot of people are really faking the funk. They really only want to be in relationships to lean to overly lean on you Libras too much, put too much of the weight on you Libras, right? You have you Libras just do everything while they sit up there mad and cause friction and be upset and act like a dependent and be stupid and just be mad all day. Them type of people, them type of people who just just get mad at you for no reason, just hyper emotion. I can't do it, fam. I can't do it. I couldn't do it. And I'm telling you Libras the truth. Y'all, I couldn't do it. I leave people so fast. And the reason why, partially, real talk, honestly, Libra, honestly, partially because of that. Because come to me and tell me and explain to me what's going on with you. This dumb stuff where you're emotional and you got issues with me and you don't want to say what get me up on out of here. Get me up on out of here, fam. I will leave a person so quickly if they do some stuff like that. I'm not even gonna lie. My tolerance. I have patience, but there's a difference. I have patience. And I'm not necessarily gonna say or do anything rash where it's like I say something that hurts their feelings, or I do something where maybe I break up the home, or that's not what I'm talking about. But my tolerance is low. Soon as they start that, my dear Libras, and y'all were right. Soon as they start that, I'm like, all right, I'm out. I'm out. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna pay attention, but if they keep doing that, I'm out. Oh no. This ain't a relationship that's gonna work. That ain't gonna that ain't kosher. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna work. The Ten of Pentacles. Because again, you Libras pay attention to how great relationships start off, and then they end where they start off perfectly. Like if you can keep that foundation and then work on things together, as well as work on different parts of yourselves independently to make that foundation better, wonderful relationship. And that's why it is that we end up getting hooked. But the thing is that boom, what happens? It's a facade because it's new. The person is not trying to run you off. And the thing is that the Lovers and the Five of Swords here speaks to how you Libras just see this thing, like I said, for what it is. Like, you have to, you're not opposed to relationships. Even you Libras who are in relationships, what you would probably tell people who are single is you're not opposed to relationships. Even you Libras who are single, you're not opposed to it. You're not opposed to being in relationships. You're not opposed to people who are in one. But relationships are so difficult to maintain because people are faking the funk. And for you Libras just want to make sure that with everything that you Libras got going on, y'all are hustlers. Y'all out here getting it. Y'all do your thing. Y'all handle your business, right? You Libras just want to make sure that you just want to make sure that if a person is going to come into your life, six of, it's actually the Lovers and not the Five of Swords, where they actually do care about you. They actually do care about you, and not just your body, but your mind as well. That's big. That's big to a Libra. That's huge to a Libra. A Libra is the conversationalist, the butch, the intelligent, and the naive type. And So so a person who may not be a Libra, that person got to come in and understand, like, okay, like, is it that you know what I'm saying? Got to really understand your modalities, right? Like, are you Libras working with a strategy right now? And what kind of strategy are y'all working with? What are y'all goals? What exactly is it that you Libras are specifically working for? You understand what I'm saying? They gotta see, and they so caught up, and see, people are so caught up with their own ego to the point where, if you Libras wanted, see, this is what I'm talking about. Heavy card being a Libra, because if you Libras wanted to, y'all could play them, because people are leaving themselves wide open to be played, due to the fact that they're leaving themselves wide open to be played due to the fact that, like, they're so distracted with their own ego and seeking validation and adoration all day. So it's like, again, this is what I'm talking about with the air signs needing to choose if they're going to be ethical or decent people very, very soon, very young, because you see the games, like, people so caught up in their own ego, they're not really even paying attention to how strategic you Libras could be. They're not even like aware, like they're not even trying to gain the knowledge, like they're not even like seeking the knowledge to even understand what's happening here. Like, they're just so, like, caught up in their own nonsense. They don't even realize that you Libras could be running game on them while they think they're running game on you. You dig what I'm saying? So so it's like you Libras are just kind of paying attention to it, and kind of looking at it like, yo, such and such is kind of like, kind of delusional about certain things. They're unaware of subtleties. So let's clarify the Five of Swords. You have the Knight of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and then you Libras have the Four of Cups to clarify the Five of Swords, right? So the Knight of Pentacles and the High Priestess and the Nine of Swords, it speaks to how it says something about other people. It speaks to how they have to really be able to make up their mind, because Libra is a zodiac. The air signs are people who are gonna, and you Libras know this yourselves, but for any of the cross watchers, air signs are people who will throw you for a loop if you don't know them. If you don't understand unpredictability is the order of the day for an air sign, don't waste your time talking to them. An air sign will throw things at you. And air signs are you Libras are unpredictable. So a person who is coming into your life, they don't understand your nuances, and maybe, now just maybe, I could be tripping, but maybe there's a hidden genius hidden up underneath the foolish, unrefined, quote unquote, antics and tactics. But I don't know. Maybe I could be tripping. And other people's need for adoration and constant validation and stuff like this really blocks them from really understanding that. Because a lot of the times air signs will say things sarcastically and kind of jokingly, intentionally. But that's a whole other, I ain't gonna get into all that. Point is, the Nine of Cups and the Four of Cups right here speaks to how, but your life is plentiful though. So it's other people really missing out, But then again, a person has to be intelligent enough to kind of see the subtleties or whatnot. But then again, what do I know? I'm just the guy talking with some cards. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. I'm at 20,100. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Peace.